اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. خلق الإنسان من علق. اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم. علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon. I would like to express a sincere welcome to everyone who are joining us online on YouTube and Facebook for Inaugural Alumni International Symposium live from University Sultan Zainal Abidin, Terengganu, Malaysia. My name is Wan Muhammad Azim Muhammad Zain, your moderator for this session entitled The Future of Today's UNIZA Alumni. In conjunction with the topic, in recent years, the models and structures that have historically guided alumni relations and alumni engagement have evolved significantly. In light of these changes, universities and alumni association may be trying to understand what these new landscapes look like and seeking strategies to remain relevant. In order to keep up, alumni organization need to recognize how conventional modes of engagement are shifting, anticipate changing constituent expectations, and determine how they fit into the new digital landscape by looking to the present and future, what we will deeply deliberate with our distinguished panels. Joining us today are yang berbahagia Profesor Madya Datuk Dr. Muhammad Hafiz bin Yusof, Deputy Vice Chancellor Student Affairs and Alumni, University Sultan Zainal Abidin, yang berusaha Profesor Dr. Ahmad Puad bin Matsum, Dean Postgraduate School UNIZA, yang berusaha Mr. Cornelius Anwar Abdullah McAfee, Director for International Centre, and yang berusaha Professor Dr. Wan Nur Hayati binti Wan Daud, joining me here from the studio, Director of Alumni Centre. So without any further ado, we will start with the first panel. Yang berbahagia Profesor Madya Datuk Dr. Muhammad Hafiz bin Yusof. How are you, Prof? Datuk?
Fine. Thank you. Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
So, for this time being, Datuk, please introduce yourself a bit and share some experiences or involvement as an alumni from which university you are. The floor is yours, Datuk. Please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Honorable panelists, Prof. Fuad, Mr. Anwar McAfee, and also Professor Dr. Wan Nur Hayati, and also to all viewers and listeners through the social media as well. Okay, referring to the first question, first and foremost, I would like to introduce myself. I'm from Besut, Terengganu, and then of course I did my bachelor degree in the University Utara, Malaysia in Sintok, and also my masters in computer science from the USM. And then of course whenever these two local university attached in my heart very closely, which is of course every time I went to Utara, these two destinations will be my checklist for to visit my lecturer, my previous supervisors, and also my colleagues, which is also in academician pipeline. And other than that, I also still contributing in terms of examining thesis for masters and PhD for those two universities, and also giving some feedback on their curriculum, and also for MQA development examiners or something like that. For my PhD university, I did my PhD in England, in UK, in Newcastle University. And of course, I still having a relationship with Newcastle University. Every time I went to England or to UK, I will visit my supervisor, still there, still healthy, still supervising a more Malaysian student. And also still having collaboration in terms of writing article and papers in terms of a journal, and also for any conference that we may write a paper together. Other than that, in terms of contribution to these three university, I also did some freelance or public speaking or session of sharing the experience and sharing expertise with these three university. If I'm still invited, inshallah, I will try to facilitate and to give my time to this two university. And for all of you, for all of your information, these three university, other than UUM and USM, Newcastle University also we have in Malaysia, which is in Johor Bahru in Nusa Jaya. So three of my alumni university actually are in Malaysia. So no problem, I can contribute anytime to this three university, other than even though in Newcastle University that I studied in England. So I think that is warm up session for introduction session for the round. Back to the moderator for other panelists, inshallah. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dato. I think we can continue with the second question for you as well. As you are in holding a portfolio as a leader for universities, students affair and alumni, Dato. So what is the key role of the Office of Deputy Vice Chancellor, or known as HEPA, in empowering university alumni, Dato?
Okay, thank you for the question. Okay, in short, I can list three of the functionality of DVC's office or HEPA, or student affairs and alumni. I put in three simple words. One is promotion, which is the first one is this is important when I or my officers get connected with other university other than UNIZA, maybe public and private university in Malaysia. We are normally always bring the branding, the current updated about the University of Sultan Zainal Abidin, about the campus lives, what the new things that we explore, what the new development of this university, and also new building, new hospital maybe. That's I always share with the every time that I make engagement with the public and private university in Malaysia, and also for international university. Secondly, we try to facilitate as many as we can, that we try to get connected and create networking with all alumni as many as we can. That is very important. Why? Because sometimes we are not realize that we had friends, but doesn't realize that they are coming from KUZA or UDM or UNIZA. So that's why sometimes I need to promote UNIZA as a whole, and sometimes creating a good relationship. We have meeting, direct together for that reason, so that it's easier for us to backtrace of where our alumni are. Thirdly, after the promotion and get connected, I would like to bring up here that our office, and also with coordination with alumni, Center of Alumni, that we are organizing many programs for alumni. Not just for the convocation, yearly convocation, but also any other programs that we organize, quite many programs for a year, such as Hari Raya together, Bubur Surah, and many program, Iftar Perdana, and then many contribution to the underprivileged students, that we try to organize this program as many as we can, so that the local and international student can know that the existing of alumni center, especially in terms of organizing the program for coordination of alumni. It's easier for office of Center of Alumni, so that they can pull all the alumni together, so that they can contribute to the university and also for their junior as well. So these are three elements that I can share here, so that the role of DVC's office to empowering the alumni agenda in UNIZA. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you so much, Dato'. So three takeouts, takeout notes, okay? Branding, networking, or what we call as the teh tarik session, and also some programs engagement with others, which is, so I think now let us hear from the Dean of Postgraduate School or PPS, Yang Professor Dr. Ahmad Puad bin Maksum. So Prof, please introduce yourself, and also you can share with us your experience with the alma mater from your previous universities. Please, Prof, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Azim, the moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Especially to the organizer, to the host, Professor Tawano, for this auspicious event, and also the panelists. I'm currently the Dean of the Graduate School. I have assumed this position since 2019. Basically, my experience as an alumni, I was an alma mater of 3 universities. For my degree, I obtained my bachelor degree from Iowa State University in USA, followed by a master degree from Lincolnshire and Humberside from England, and also my PhD in Strathclyde University in Scotland, United Kingdom. So, being having attached to, I would say, a prestigious university, Strathclyde University, because the school that I was attached to was a Scottish Hotel School. It was one of the 2 5-rated tourism school at that time in UK, in addition to tourism and hospitality management school in Surrey University. So being a prestigious school and prestigious universities, the university, due to its reputation, and they were able to attract students from different parts of the world, from all continents, from America, from Europe, Africa, Asia, and also Australia. And in fact, my school, all my colleagues actually, they came from different parts of the world. So I was very fortunate to have a colleague from different parts of the world. Even when we graduated, we were still able to expand our academic horizon, and we increased our international linkages. And in fact, at that time, more than 2 decades ago, we were very active in organizing events, conferences, symposium, similar to what Datuk Hafiz mentioned, that we always collaborate in publishing articles, research collaboration, and in fact, we invited our my former supervisor to come to Malaysia as keynote speaker in one of our events that we organized. And in fact, due to our wider linkages in different parts of the world, we managed to assist one another. We leverage on this, and in fact, I remember that was back in 2006. There was an APTA, Asia Pacific Tourism Conference, organized in Hualien, Taiwan. So we decided among the alumni from the school, from the Scottish Hotel School and the Business School from Strathclyde University, we decided that we flew from different parts of the world to Taiwan for 2 purposes. One is actually to attend the conference for academic purposes, and secondly for social networking. And it was considered a big reunion among all of us, that we managed to meet up again after a few years after we graduated from our university. So I really hope that alumni, when you graduate from the institution, especially from UNIZA, you keep engaging with each other. And today's alumni, they are very fortunate because they are in the what we call in the millennial era, where they can always get connected through social media. Unlike our time, at that time there was no Instagram, there was no Telegram, there was no WhatsApp, and in fact, through the social media at this time, you are able to expand your network, to locate your long lost friend, and keep updated of latest information about each other. So I think that's a bit of warm up, Dr. Azim, about my experience and alumni.
Prof, so how do you think, as the Dean of the Postgraduate School and PPS as a center in enhancing alumni at the global level, bring them further up? Yes, please,
Okay,
Prof.
thanks for the question, moderator. Okay, let me give an overview about the current postgraduate scenario in Indonesia. The graduate school was first established in 2007 when we started to have our first enrollment of postgraduate students. That was like 15 years ago. And we were able to produce our first local graduate, 2011, followed by the following year, 2012, when we had the first international graduate. And as of now, we have already produced 1,120 alumni, postgraduate. About 40% of them, or 457 alumni, were actually international alumni coming from 24 countries. So that is considered a good achievement for UNISA, because UNISA is considered a relatively young university. And in fact, our recent convocation, the 13th convocation, which was just completed last month, we had 366 alumni from postgraduate program, which was considered the highest in terms of number as compared to the previous years. So in fact, enrollment has steadily increased to almost 2,000 every year. And this number has been constant, and we were able last year to reach the pre-COVID figure. So this has been achieved partially by our alumni through their support and through their network. So I would like to mention that from graduate school perspective, from the faculties, that we are actually we are trying as much to provide good quality program, good exposure and experience for the student. And we have continuously improved our policy, system, and procedure to make sure that the student, they obtain quality program, accredited program, and they have memorable experiential learning, stay experience in Malaysia, and that actually will turn into word of mouth marketing that will be good in terms of marketing of our university at the global arena. And through the alumni support, and in fact our international center has been recruiting our students as agents, and they have been assisting us in maintaining key market. So for example, our key market in terms of students are always like Indonesia, Jordan, Nigeria, Yemen, and Pakistan. And this market have been stable for a number of years due to the support from our alumni. And in fact, they help us also to explore new market, not only within their countries, but also in the region. I give you an example. Previously, our market from Indonesia was largely confined to those from Sumatra, from Riau, also from Java Island, due to the proximity to Peninsular Malaysia. Now we were able to penetrate market like Makassar, Sulawesi, and so on. And in fact, according to our figure, even African is also a big market to capture. Although we only managed to target only 15 or 54 countries in America, and we in Africa, and we have seen emerging market now coming from Turkey, and from China. So basically, alumni has been assisting us in enrolling, in increasing the enrollment of student numbers of postgraduate students in UNISA. Dr. Azim.
Okay, thank you, Prof.
Back to you.
All right, so we move to Mr. Anwar, our Director of International Center. So, Mr. Anwar, same things. Please
Okay,
introduce yourself.
same questions?
Yes, same questions, but different people.
Yeah, okay. I think mine is a little bit more of a simplistic view when it comes to my experience as an alumni, because like our panelists here, they're all very much in the academic realm, and they tie in their experience with their old universities. It continues on an academic level. Mine is more on a personal level as a, let's say, as a student. So I graduated from Carleton University in Ottawa, and I still maintain close contact with the friends that I developed there and with some of the lecturers who are still around there. And the university also keeps in touch with me. Perhaps you might define it as a very traditional way, but I still get letters and magazines from the university being mailed all the way to my address here in Malaysia. And the point that I want to make here about my experience as an alumni with Carleton University is that I still meet people that I don't know, but that studied at Carleton University, even here in Malaysia. There are many Carleton grads in Malaysia. And also I meet them as my job as the director of the International Center brings me to meetings and engagements with international organizations. When we come across someone that is an alumni of the same place, even though we never met, we're in different programs, we graduated in different years, there is some connection there between us. And that helps if we want to do any work or activity together. We feel some sort of bond, some sort of connection, some sort of loyalty to that other person because we come from the same university. So I sense this is the same experience that our students are taking with them, because we're able to do various programs just through the strength of them being alumni of our institution. They have some faith, some connection to other people that have a connection to our institution. So if I was to express again, what is it? It's, I think, a very personal commitment that alumni will have to other alumni from the same institution, even if they haven't met them. So we hope that that is part and parcel of what our alumni take with them, a strong sense of loyalty to the institution and to other graduates from the institution. So that's how I would express my experience as an alumni.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Anwar. But from your point of view, how ICS, you are the director of ICS, UNISA, how ICS plan to enhance the alumni, especially UNISA's alumni, into a better level, maybe?
Yeah, I think when we look at our role here at the International Center, we have a few roles. One of them is to promote the university internationally, of course, with the purpose of getting more students. So another one is student recruitment, international student recruitment. And as Prof. Puad was explaining just now, we are in a very fortunate position that even though we have gone through COVID and many changes, we've had to change the way we operate, the way we communicate, we have not seen a drop or a dip in our international student enrollment throughout the past 2 years. We have still increased every 2 years, and we are one of the top universities in Asia as a choice for international students. So we're very proud of that. And that comes, I believe, from another role of IC, not just the recruitment and the promotion, but looking after the welfare of the students when they're here, making sure that, number one, their experience outside of academia, okay, the faculties take care of the academic matters, but on a more personal level, we make sure that their welfare is taken care of, that they don't have problems with accommodation, transportation, food, finances. We cannot solve all of their problems, but we are a place that international students can come when they have some conflict or some challenge while they're studying with us. And we will do our best to use the resources at the university. And by resources, I mean use the good services of the graduate school, of the faculty, of the supervisors. All these different elements come together at UNISA to assist the student to get through what difficult times they have. And if they leave and graduate with a world-class degree, and they've had a good experience here, regardless of the challenges they've gone through, they've come out on the other side a stronger person. They bring that with them when they go back home. And I think that is one of the key ways that we can strengthen our alumni network, is making sure that when they're here, the experience they have is a world-class, top-notch experience. And we also continue to engage with our alumni through what we have, what we call an agent policy. We encourage alumni, international alumni especially, to promote the university in their home country. If they see an area where there is someone looking for quality education, they may want to recommend Malaysia, they may want to recommend UNISA. And if they assist in bringing more students, opening new markets to us, then we have some sort of financial support that we will give back to those people that are supporting us. And we have a very strong network of these individuals that feel confident about promoting the university because of their experience. They had a good experience here. And if we look at our statistics over the years, we have maintained approximately 65 to 70% of all new students that register, all new international students that register with us, have come to us by word of mouth marketing through our international network of alumni. So it shows just how strong that network is, and it shows how important word of mouth marketing is. And in addition to that marketing, the traditional marketing that we used to do when we were allowed to travel before COVID hit, we would go overseas and we would set up a booth with an educational organization and have a promotional fair with other universities. Wherever we traveled in the years leading up to COVID, wherever I went, I was always able to get the good assistance, the good help from our alumni that were in that home country. Places like Tunisia, Dubai, Kazakhstan, Jordan, Thailand, Indonesia, Brunei. We just let them know that we're on our way next month, and they will stop whatever they're doing and they'll spend 2 or 3 days with us helping to promote the university. And actually, it's a great benefit for promotion when, for example, when I was in Cambodia a few years ago, it was a whole group of Malaysian universities. We were the only Malaysian university there that brought along an alumni. And that alumni could speak the local language, of course, and assisted us and assisted other universities in having a more in-depth conversation with the students and the parents that were coming. And also, that student, an alumni of UNISA, could speak the truth about UNISA. You know, they may not trust us, a foreigner or an officer at the university. They want to hear from the student, from the Cambodian himself. What is it really like there at UNISA? And so by making sure that our students, our international students, have a great experience when they're here, we're working to build future networks among our alumni.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Anwar, for the insight. Okay. And okay, next we move into our distinguished panel. Sorry, that here with me at the studio, yang berusaha Prof. Dr. Wan Hayati Wan Daud, the Director of Alumni Center UNISA. So, Prof, please introduce yourself, okay, and also share the experience as an alumni from the universities previously.
Thank you very much, Dr. Azim. Actually, my tertiary level start with I'm study at KUZA. Okay, actually here in 1995, and then during my time, well, anybody want to study at KUZA, we need to attend the interview session, and then they will ask a question why you want to study here. And then I still remember that during my time, Professor Zira and also Cik Abdullah Tohafa asked me question about why you want to study here in KUZA, and then they asked me why you like to choose insurance, because I'm from diploma in insurance in KUZA. Actually, during my time, it is because of that at school, I study commerce, perdagangan, and then one of the chapters is about the insurance, and then I quite interested to know further about what's insurance all about, because I'm not really Malay. people
Yeah.
actually join insurance, and then Alhamdulillah, I actually able to complete my diploma level with quite many times be a dean's list student during that time, KUZA. And then I further my study at UiTM. Also continue my same background, which is I further bachelor in insurance, and then working at one of the brokers, which is it is an international broker, have a branch in KL. Then after that, I actually keep contact my lecturer. During that is Dr. Rosidai. And then he asked me a question, why don't you join as an academician? That's why it is actually it is a starting point that I actually involved in the academician, and then further study for the master in UiTM, and then my DBA at USM. So I still contact my lecturer at UiTM Shah Alam and also USM, but many of them actually already retire. It signaled to me that I'm getting older. And then actually, but we keep contact each other, especially for the young lecturer come out from the UiTM Shah Alam and actually UNISA, of course lah, because of the we have the faculty management that actually offer my field is a bachelor in risk management. So I think that it is quite good for me because of the well, I study here and then and out with I actually working here, and then this year is actually my 25 years service to UNISA that actually start from the KUZA. So I graduated KUZA 1995. I think that during that time you are actually at 3-4 years old.
I think 6.
6 years old. Okay. Actually my alumni and then engaged with the alma mater is actually approximately 3 university. KUZA, now known as the UNISA, UiTM Shah Alam, and also USM. Okay.
All right. So very interesting background. I think it's nice to have this kind of from different panels, mixtures of different institutions, because I think we bring everything. We put what people said always. We make a juice out of it. Okay, people give you lemon, you make a lemonade. So here we have different kind of interpretation about alumni, about how not just from the professional point of view, but also personal point of views. So, Prof, another question about as you are the head of the alumni, which is very important, what's the theme is all about this inaugural symposium. Can you share your plan to improve, in any aspect of alumni activity for a long term or in the next 5 years?
Okay. Actually, well, I was appointed as a director for Alumni Center. I'm quite lucky, Dr. Azim, just because of the a month before that, Ministry of Education already officially established the Majlis Alumni, which is comprised all the director for Alumni Center all over the public university, or we call it University Awam. So actually, well, my team and myself preparing what's the short long-term plan for the alumni center. Actually, we actually in line with what's the requirement made by the Ministry of Education, and then we are also given by one of our main reference that we call it Garis Panduan for Majlis Alumni University Awam. So in that case, well, we preparing the long-term plan especially. So we actually based on what requirement made by the Ministry of Education, and then actually we same pipeline with all the alumni center from all over 20 public university. So if I can share with you, more or less all the public university now, especially for the alumni center, we are runaway. It's not runaway. Runaway following the scope by the ministry is actually similar with the 4 clusters. So first is regard with the engage. So means that all the Alumni Center need to engage closely with the alumni for each of the universities. So now we try to keep engaged, stay together with the alumni from the university, and then create engagement is actually quite difficult actually. Well, I become the director of the Alumni Center. I think that engage is actually so simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just say hello whatsoever. But actually it's very difficult because of the, to make sure all alumni come back to the university is very, very difficult. And then that's why we try to come up with the awareness to all the faculty to come up with the alumni associations. And then we ask the faculty to join and then register alumni association to add roles. And then some of the faculty in UNISA, alhamdulillah, already register roles. And because of that, if we have the platform, it is easy for us to create the activities for engaging with the faculty and also at university. But the struggle things about the volunteerism, because when we ask alumni to engage with us, join together, come up with the activities, so volunteer alumni is not very hard for us to do. Okay, they actually, yeah, I know they are busy with their position out there, but actually to get the volunteerism alumni is actually challenging. It's not just UNISA, but also to other university. The second one is about the financial support. Actually, it is a pretty sensitive part when we ask alumni to actually contribute, especially money to the university, because of they're not really feel uncomfortable with, okay, giving the financial matters to the university. And then they also say that why I need to contribute money to the university. Okay, it is sort of the, actually because of the way it's not our culture, okay, especially in Asian. If you compare with the any university from US, Europe, it is a norm for them, for all the alumni success out there. And then a part of the money actually they actually contribute as a donation to the university that they study. So I think that maybe it is because the I can put it the analogy like we narrow down scope to the family entity. You were sponsored by your parents, and then you become the somebody out there with a good position. Even though you have the very good or tight financial commitment, but I'm sure that every month you have put some part of your money based on your capability, contribute to your parent by you banking cash to them. So I think that it is actually as simple as the analogy, which why don't you contribute a place that you study from nothing with, actually you know many things at the institution that give you knowledge, isn't it? But actually it is not what happened here. So it is quite challenging for my team to come up with the fundraising and also crowdfunding for the alumni, and then actually contribute in terms of the financial matters. But somehow, some of them is very good in terms of they giving the non-financial matters, such as like sharing knowledge, share the skill, giving mentor. We have the like inspirational, and also we have the mentor-mentee session with the alumni. Quite good so far. Number 3, the long-term plan that's supposed to be alumni center need to do is about the strengthening the database. Okay, but it is not the one-stop activity that we need to do. It is continuously will be forever unfinished job. It is because of the we need to update the alumni profile, and then it's quite challenging actually. We actually come up with so many activities, and then we actually share the scan barcode to ensure alumni fill out the latest information about our university, such as like in this case, one of the objectives in our Inaugural Alumni International Symposium, because of we want to strengthen our database in our system, but end up with not to do nothing. Yeah, it is actually. So in UNISA now we are struggling into digitalizing the manual database from student graduate in 1983 until 2007. It's very hard. And then actually it is a collaboration from the faculty. We hope do so. Faculty help our alumni center to keep update the database alumni based on the faculty. I think that's all so far.
All right.
It's a warm-up session from me.
It's quite, Prof, let us immerse into this kind of issues and challenges, but also I think opportunities, how we can grasp the issues very well. All right, so I think we're back to, thank you so much, Prof,
Yeah.
all right, for your insights. And back to Professor Madya Datuk Dr. Muhammad Hafiz, our Deputy Vice Chancellor, HEPA. So, Prof, Datuk, how do you envision the pathways or direction of our alumni in the future in line with the National Higher Education Agenda?
Thank you very much, Hedin. Okay. To answer this question, I would like to refer to the higher education, Malaysia Higher Education Blueprint, which is consists of 10 shifts altogether. And then I can refer here that what first of the shift is to develop a holistic, entrepreneurial, and balanced graduate. So in this matter of fact, we need to, in UNISA, for instance, that we need to have and develop a very comprehensive ecosystem that can create and develop and also to facilitate the shift of number one with the support of our alumni. I would like to explain here that our alumni and we, through the Alumni Center at UNISA, we need to collaborate all together with the alumni so that all the impact, so that we can create and develop impactful student and impactful program to all the students. For instance, I can give a few examples that maybe the student can collaborate with alumni to organize certain international networking of community program, so that maybe local students in Malaysia can explore international scenarios and study in the international level with the collaboration with our alumni representatives at that particular place. Secondly, alumni will also sometimes come from different backgrounds in their career. So sometimes they can come together anytime to our campus. Our doors is always open to alumni to share their knowledge and being a role model to the students. So for those who, who already established their careers, they already have a certain achievement in their life, they can come anytime in the campus so that they can share their expertise, their experience, and also can give knowledge to all the current students so that they can achieve, we can achieve the shift number one in our higher education blueprint as a whole. The next, maybe the plan is like towards to achieve this holistic and balanced career. The alumni also can contribute in terms of their monetary contribution. For instance, UNISA also have a few programs. For instance, that we also cater and also try to develop a fund to help the underprivileged students so that they can continue their studies, they can pay their fees, and also they can feel that they are together in terms of campus life, having program all together. So this is the contribution of alumni and also the whole ecosystem of the university, so that we can bring alumni and also student, university, communities together, so that we can have so we can achieve higher national higher education agenda, um, with the whole hub and also with the full ecosystem being supportive each other, inshallah. So thank you. That's my comment on that. Thank you.
Prof. That's all. All right. Prof. Puat, okay. In moving forward, okay, from the perspective of PPS, also you can share your personal perspective as well. In moving forward, to what extent does the involvement of international postgraduates who are becoming alumni or future alumni play their roles as alumni representing the institution at the international scenes? So our students becoming the ambassador when they come back to their home country. So what it is all about, Prof, please?
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Azim, for the interesting question. Okay, students are basically the bread and butter of the university. So university will be lifeless without students. And they are actually our key market. And if we treat our university as a business entity, so we have to safeguard the interests of the students because we have to maintain this kind of relationship. So in business, what we call as relationship marketing, continuous relationship, repeat visitation, loyalty should be maintained because our students not only are ambassadors of their countries, uh, but they actually promote our universities in their respective countries. So the bilateral relationship should be strengthened, not only between institution and institution, but also between countries and countries. Relating to your question, how do we start off? Of course, we may start with this academic collaboration, like inviting our academic staff in both direction, inbound and outbound, as visiting lecturers, and we can have both inbound and outbound mobility program, internship, research collaboration, and of course, we expect to have more event being organized uh, between UNISA and our alumni. And we have been successful so far in doing this, but we expect to do more in years to come because this will increase our ranking, especially in MIRA rating. Um, and just to share that we have been signing a lot of MOU and MOA between UNISA and foreign counterparts. And we have to give credit that this will partially the result of this our alumni, their network and their effort. So by having this academic network as a beginning, so we can expand beyond this academic cooperation into economy. There could be like possible business collaboration between us and also our alumni overseas, and there could also be cultural cooperation between us and our alumni. And since my area is in tourism, it can also benefit tourism. So just to highlight to the panel and to the viewers that Malaysia has always positioned itself as the hub for the education in Southeast Asia. And that not only education benefit the country in terms of the economic multiplier effect, but it also benefit the tourism industry because education itself, when we have students studying in our country, in UNISA, they would be able to bring in their VFR market, what we call in tourism as the visiting friends and relative market. They will be bringing in their parents, their siblings, their colleagues coming to Malaysia. And when they come and visit us, and then they will spread the good word of mouth, the experience that they have in Malaysia to their countries. That will be a good promotional tool in order for us to promote our country further to increase the number of tourist arrival. So we have to bear in mind that our alumni, when they are our student, we treat us as um, of course, our student, whether they are undergraduate or whether they are postgraduate. But when they return to their countries, as mentioned by Prof. Wano, they actually assume very prominent position in the private sector, in the government sectors. We have alumni that actually assume ministerial posts in Indonesia. We have alumni that assume or holding posts in top management of universities. So these are the areas that we can leverage on, that we can build further our relationship at much higher level in the international arena. So just to recap what Dr. Hafiz has mentioned, in terms of this social obligation, I ran across this one what we call a project, actually initiated by alumni in Africa, what they call as Yes Alumni Grant Projects. Through this alumni association, they were able to generate some fund, and through this fund, they engage in research activities for education, public health, conflict resolution purposes in Africa, entrepreneurship, women empowerment, and sustainable development. So these are the areas that I think our alumni could figure out, and how can they build this kind of strength in future between our alumni and also UNISA. So back to you, Dr. Azim.
Okay, thank you, Prof. All right, so Mr. Anwar, university provides a unique opportunity to meet and mingle with various groups of people who share diverse passions and interests, and also different kind of backgrounds. And we never know which of these contacts will come in handy later down the line. So your opinion on making the most of the networks benefit the institution, and what's your opinion on making the most of the networks benefit the institution and their members? And I could add libs a bit what Prof. Wano said about creating network is not that I think not that difficult, but maintaining the networks and also the collaboration is quite the hustle sometimes. So, in your point of view, Mr. Anwar, on this matter, making the most networks, yeah.
Sure. Well, let me start by talking about a theory called the weak tie theory, and it's something I've come across a few times, and I think it's very true and valid to what we're talking about today. And it says basically, your close circle of friends, your very tight network, your immediate family, we think that maybe those are the people that can help us or benefit us the most in life. But in actual fact, we need to look at the outer circle of more casual acquaintances, because this outer circle of people that we connect with, that we network with, they are the ones that are not moving in our immediate circle. In the immediate circle, we know each other. It's very limited. But this outer circle, they're in different countries, they're in different jobs, they have different experiences. And it's this outer ring, this outer network, which I think the alumni falls into, which can bring great benefit to us. So it's very important for not only us as an institution, but for the students themselves when they're here to realize that when you graduate and go back home, the friendships that you build here at UNISA can sustain themselves. The close people that you meet with here, you can keep in touch with them when you go back home, and there will be some bond, some strength, because you're both alumni. And so that network is very strong. How do we maintain it? Well, I think one thing involved in maintaining that network is communication. If there is regular communication between the alumni and us in various forms, then nothing is forgotten. But if there's zero communication, of course, people can forget and move more and more further away from their institution that they graduated from. So there has to be communication, and it can be done in many ways. And I want to go to an event that we handled, and this ties in with what Dr. Hafiz was saying and what Prof. Puad was mentioning there, and it involves our alumni. Last year, we at UNISA arranged an event called Community Heroes. Now, Community Heroes is when our students participate in community projects providing service to the community. And it was thought that we can expand this on an international level. Now that we have more alumni and even some students that had gone back to their home country because of COVID, how could we tap into that? And this is a proof that our alumni are strong, that our alumni are alive and well, that our alumni still remember the university. Because I went to a meeting early one Thursday morning to get an understanding of what Community Heroes is and what we want to do. And within just a few hours, we had set up 7 projects in 6 countries, already confirmed, ready to go, because of the strength of our alumni. We could contact them at 11 a.m. here, and when they woke up in Nigeria or in Palestine a few hours later, they got the message, and they started the ball rolling and would confirm. So we had projects in Palestine. We had several in Palestine, several in Indonesia, in Nigeria, in Mauritius, in Thailand, Cambodia. These were all community efforts run by our students and our alumni. And it's a testament to how quickly we could put something together, how quickly and positively our alumni responded. And so I think this is just one example that we've done, but it shows us that there is great potential in this alumni network. So I wanted to just go over that Community Heroes one, because I do think that the alumni network will benefit not just the university, but benefit the alumni themselves if they maintain their connections as they go on in their careers. And perhaps one more point about the strength of alumni that I don't hear mentioned so often, especially here in the Malaysian context. We're always somewhat concerned about students and the student enrollment and what is the immediate benefit to the country by having international students. What is the immediate benefit to our research networking by having international students and alumni? What is the immediate benefit to the classroom when you have international students in that classroom giving a different worldview from our local students? These are all great things, but I also firmly believe that internationalization in education and having a broad base of international alumni will work to benefit Malaysia in many, many other ways in many decades to come. I think it's very valuable, much more just beyond the immediacy of the classroom and the graduation and then being the alumni. I think the benefits, as Prof. Puad alluded to, tourism, business connections, all of these things will come into play and benefit the country greatly. So coming back to what we're here for today, the alumni network, it's very important. I think there's strong evidence, as I mentioned, with Community Heroes, that the alumni we have are very proud and very proactive and very willing to assist. It's been my experience in all my years working in the International Center that we have great alumni that are always there to help, that are really proud of our institution. So I hope that gives you some perspective on my view on this.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Anwar, for your perspectives on the making the most of the networks between alumni and also institution and their members. All right, Prof. Wan Nohayati, why is alumni philanthropy is important? Okay. Just a very short question, but very important one.
Yeah, quite. Need to explain.
Yeah.
Largely about
Yes, please.
philanthropy all about. Okay, actually, if we talk about the philanthropy in Bahasa, we call it kedermawanan. Kedermawanan. Okay, it is about the charitable activities whereby some group of people actually do the charitable to the society. In this case, actually the society we are refer to the university. And then the activities happen because of you want to express the love of mankind. It's not because of or rather than serving because of the poor. Yeah. It is because of you feeling you love something, that you actually have the engaging with that kind of the community, and then you want to contribute something for improving of the community at that stage. So actually, if we looking at the our public university, our source of income actually come out from the government. But I think that Puan Syakimah need to agree with me that our source of income become shrinking, but our expenditure become actually keep increasing. So it's not matched regard the balance sheet about that. So one of the good approach, okay, to help the university is because come out from the philanthropy. Because of that, we have the alumni, we have the what we call a role model from the alumni. Some of our alumni out there is actually millionaire. Actually, it's happened also in UNISA. Well, they come out from the study KUZA, and then it is approximately, we have more than 40,000 alumni here, but the database actually quite, we try our hard to compile all 40,000 members of alumni here, but I'm pretty sure that some of the successful is out there. And then if you ask, what's the formula to success for higher education institution regard with the philanthropy approach? What do you think? I think it's because of the engaging. If you have a very good engaging with the alumni, and then they come up with the activity regard, especially for the fundraising and also crowdfunding, they can contribute to the university. So maybe I can share with you regard with the one research made by the PhilIMA. PhilIMA is actually the philanthropy initiative of Malaysia. It is study on private philanthropy in multi-ethnic Malaysia and research on corporate philanthropy, sorry. And then insofar actually finding come out from this research is no literature share. No literature share success of higher education philanthropic fundraising program in Malaysia goes to the, actually can say it's a very good numbers. So far it means that philanthropy is not quite popular among alumni, which is you doing the charitable activities in the place that you are actually loved one. Okay, so it also, maybe you can ask question why, maybe alumni ask question why I need to contribute to the university. It is because of this in our culture. I rather say it like that. It is because of the, based on this research also mentioned, like in Australia, and then among some pertinent of university in Asian, okay, it's not the culture of the alumni itself because of the contribution to university is not as what happened to USA and also at Europe country, whereby one of the university in USA, they able to come up one faculty sponsored by one of the millionaire from the alumni there. Okay, so I like to share with this kind of the finding come up from the PhilIMA, whereby they mentioned that approximately 70% individual prefer to contribute religious activity, as compared 24% prefer donate to the education. So it is actually more, we can say, it is about the awareness, it is about the culture, it's not there. Okay, then it is quite challenging for the alumni center to come up with the fundraising. And it's not just UNISA, but all over the public university nowadays. We are talking about the same pace, how to ensure alumni able to involve with the philanthropy activity at our respective universities. So the importance of the philanthropy is because of the way become the remedy, a part of the sources of income to university. Yeah, exactly. Because of the now, even though we are not non-profit organization, but the situation nowadays need us to have additional support of the sources of income to cater the expenses that we actually keep increasing from year to year. And then actually, if philanthropy is happening, it is actually a win-win situation to the both parties, UNISA, university itself, and also to the alumni. It is great reputation for both parties, and then it is a tax deduction. It is a tax deduction actually. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all.
So,
Thank you.
so making philanthropy as a culture is quite challenging, but I think we are moving towards that stuff, right?
Yeah, we,
Yeah.
we, we put an effort every year to ensure that, especially at the faculty level, at least we can come up with the fundraising, or actually maybe we can do the crowdfunding, like what Faculty of Islamic Contemporary doing is actually they want to come up with the one studio for actually PDP activities. So it's very good because of that they come up with the tracing at FKI, and then they now having a funds of it. So we need to keep continuous doing things to ensure that philanthropy actually always be there between alumni and also the university.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So, so I think we are in the the final round. I hope I have the bell ting 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 to do that. But yeah, I think the final question for all panels, for all panelists, your aspirations for UNISA's future alumni impacts, how it impacts the world. So I think we start with Prof. Muad, right? We'll start with Prof. Muad.
Thank you, Dr. Azim. I pick up from the from Prof. Wanos and Mr. Anwar mentioned about engaging, communication. I think one of the things that alumni should bear in mind that after they graduate from UNISA, they should remain active. I mean, we have noticed that some of the alumni are not active, so they should build their career in their respective field. So be visible in the national arena, and further on they can expand into the global arena. There is a statement saying that alumni is a fantastic resource for one another. So they should encourage alumni to alumni connection among them. And as mentioned by Wano, crowdfunding is one. They should engage in very meaningful project to help the needy, for example. And just to give an example, of course, you cannot compare with Harvard University, one of the top university in the world. In fact, Harvard alumni, they were able to generate the alumni themselves. They were able to generate about 21 million jobs worldwide, and they were able to create about 550 ventures across different sectors of the economy, and they also serve on 300,000 boards all over the world. So of course we may not be able to achieve what Harvard has already attained, but at least we can at least set some threshold so that we can achieve what other universities have already achieved. So I think that's what I want to say, Dr. Azim.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Anwar, your aspirations?
Okay, I'll follow on from those very good points from Prof. Puad. Maybe our impact as a new university, we cannot compare ourselves with some of the very large and well-established universities. So I keep a very simple perspective because I have heard this motto since I started teaching here in 1991. And that is the motto of KUSA, the motto of UDM, and it remains the motto of University Sultan Zainal Abidin, and that is knowledge for the benefit of humanity. And if our alumni learn that during their several years here with us, and they bring that aspiration with them in whatever they do in their home country, if they hold to that the knowledge they gain here, the knowledge that they hold themselves, and they work with it for the benefit of humanity, I think that is something that we can expect. And then we can look at the details later in a decade or two from now and see how many are on boards and how many are holding high positions. I'm sure we're moving in that direction. But I always like to come back to that, our motto. If they hold that, then they can't go wrong. Knowledge for the benefit of humanity.
Right. So, last but not least, Prof. Wan Haryati, your aspirations on UNISA alumni impact to the world.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Azin. Sound that it is my last question, yeah, to the panelists. Okay, I think that it is inevitable if I say that it is a new year, new challenge, yeah. Even we already at the February. Okay, so networking, yeah, build alumni networking, stay connected, istiqamah bersilaturahim through university experience. It is actually it is what we try to do, and hopefully continuously we are doing for that. Yeah, that's all for me.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think um, that is all for today's session.
Yes.
Right, and but before we end the session, I think we would like to open for a lucky draw session by the organizer.
Does the panel entitled to the lucky draw?
You have the answer, Prof. Wan? No. Seconds for the lucky draw to be appeared on the screen.
The number got the lucky draw for today.
What was the price for one?
So here are the names, the list of the lucky draw winner for today. Okay, so they can claim the prize.
Yeah,
Alright.
they can claim at the alumni center.
Yeah.
We want them to visit us
Okay.
at our office.
All right. So to all the winners of the lucky draw, please claim your prize at the alumni center, the small beautiful house in front of the chancellery. So please go there and claim your prize. Okay. So I think the session today's the lucky draw marked the end of the session, and I would like to say thanks to all the distinguished panels. Okay, from yang berbahagia Prof. Madya, Dr. Muhammad Hafiz bin Yusof, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Student Affairs and Alumni UNISA, Yang Berusaha Profesor Dr. Ahmad Puan bin Maksum, Dean of Postgraduate School UNISA, Yang Berusaha Mr. Cornelius Anwar Abdullah McAfee, Director of International Centre, and Yang Berusaha Professor Dr. Wan Hayati Wan Daud, Director of Alumni Centre. So and I do hope all the informations and also the sharings from all the panels give us some new perspective on how we look into alumni and how it functions. And we do hope more people philanthropically can contribute more, not just for tax deduction, right? Also, I think for the I think long-term relationship networks, and also to make sure that the universities can be sustained, not just academically, but also in any forms of programs in the future through alumni, inshallah. So I think that's all for today. Thank you so much again for all the panelists, and also to the viewers out there. Thank you for tuning in. So please stay safe, inshallah. So we meet again next time in the next session. Okay. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
Salam.